Hello friends, this is Karthikeya Singh working as an assistant professor in School of Management Sciences, Varanasi. And today I'm going to start a new lecture series which is going to handle how to prepare summer internship project report on the basis of primary as well as secondary data. Because I have seen people usually struggle at every step of doing their summer internship. At every step they are going to struggle, whether it is problem identification or extensive literature survey or doing data analysis through different tools and techniques. At every step students are usually going to struggle, so I'll try to ease their problem and I'll cover everything in detail in stepwise manner. So I have segregated my entire presentation or lecture videos into different parts. But before that, what is the aim of doing this particular lecture series? I'm going to cover it one by one. The first aim is to like guide students about the basic necessity of summer internship and its implication. Why this summer internship is expected to happen and what is the implication of it, means how this is going to impact your career in future. I'm going to guide you on that. Second, we are going to cover about identification of problem, how we are going to identify our problem and what are the different processes through which we can reach to a particular problem. And we are going to deal every step in detail so that you can identify your research problem for your summer internship project. Third one is to help in creating a framework of extensive literature survey, how you are going to do this extensive literature survey, because at the time of this lockdown period, extensive literature survey is going to play a significant role while devising your entire research project report. Because in most of the cases, you are not going to visit into the market to collect primary data. So in most of the cases, you are going to utilize whatever research work is already being done. You are going to utilize all those resources through extensive literature survey. So I'm going to help you in that. And I'll also share what are the different platforms where you are going to get this literature review material. So I'm going to also give those links through which you can download those research papers also. Next is to guide them to build their research design, how a research design framework is going to be created. I'm also going to guide them about that. Then formulating a questionnaire. This particular step is very much important, because if your questionnaire is robust, your research project report is going to be done handsomely. But if you are struggling to build a basic questionnaire, then you are going to struggle your research project report comprehensively. So at this point of time, if you are going to make a good questionnaire, your entire research purpose would come fruitful. But if you are struggling to build a questionnaire, your entire research purpose would be defeated. So we'll guide you in a questionnaire making process, and through that process, you'll definitely be able to build your own questionnaire very easily. Next step is how to guide them, how to handle different types of data, because we are going to do primary as well as secondary database research. So how we do deal this primary as well as secondary data. Next, we are going to help them about the process of the data collection through Google Form. We are also going to help them about different platform through which they are going to collect data online, because offline is not possible. So what are the available avenues, like Google Forms, Google Docs, Google Sheets, different types of sharing platforms are there through which you can collect data. So I'm going to guide you on that front also. And finally, to help them in doing data analysis through Excel and SPSS, because if you have certain skill of using SPSS and Excel, your research project is going to have some impact on the audience or the person who is going to review your research project. So I'm going to guide you on some basic skills of Excel as well as on SPSS, so that you can prepare your research project report comprehensively. Last one, finally help them about the guidelines of report making and presentation, how, what should be the font size, what should be the spacing, how entire text is going to be justified or centrally aligned or left aligned or right aligned. I'm going to guide you on that also. So these are the basic aims on the basis of which I'm going to devise my lecture series. And in doing so, the most important thing, a devised format for the research project report. So we have devised this summer training project report format, and it is going to help you. And I'm going to add one more thing, like I'm going to give you the link of this document. of Google Docs, and through that Google Docs link in the lecture video itself, you can download this format and you can utilize it while making your summer internship project report. So I'm going to discuss it one by one through my lecture series. This is the basic format. And in this section A, introduction and experiential learning is two important uh, topics are there. In section B, introduction, literature review, research methodology, data analysis, research and interpretation, conclusion, recommendation, appendix, and bibliography. This is the entire format of doing this summer internship project. The problem is people are not having basic format of doing their summer internship. They do it voluntarily. Whatever format they have got on the internet, they usually download it and they copy it from that platform and they paste it on their summer internship project report. But they are struggling to follow any particular defined format. So we have tried to create a defined format so that your task can become easier. Let's move further. Apart from it, there are measures, I think 6 segments. Introduction and experiential learning would be the first part of lecture series. Second part would be extensive literature survey. Then third part would be your research methodology. Fourth would be data analysis, interpretation on Excel and SPSS. Conclusion, recommendation, appendix, and bibliography. These are the basic major segments of the entire lecture series. And in chances are there in one particular segment, I may upload 2 to 3 lecture videos, because at the time of data analysis, I may take 2 to 3 lecture videos to complete the entire process. So it is not necessary that I'm going to cover in one lecture video the entire thing which is going to be discussed here. So depending upon the content, depending on the longevity of the subject matter, chances are there more number of lecture videos would be uploaded. I think your basic purpose is to help you in every respect. Now you can segregate the entire thing. This introduction part is divided into 2 parts: industry overview and company overview. In industry overview, we are going to handle brief profile of all major companies within the industry, size of the industry, product and services of major players, market share and major players. If you give this format to any student, they'll start accumulating data on the basis of these required data, like different companies within the industry. It can be found on the internet. Size of the industry, product and services of the major player can be found on the website of a particular company. Market share of major players, we can search it through Google. But what other platforms are also there, like Money Control, Owler, Government of India database, how we can utilize all those database to build our introduction. So I'm going to share all these details also. In terms of company overview, most of these things, mission statement, values, objective, you are going to get on the website of the company. In most of the cases, I have seen values is not being mentioned, but if you completely go through the website of the company, you will come to know the values through on the basis of which company is working. So it is also going to help while devising your summer internship project report. Then types of product and services, I think this can be gauged from the company websites itself. So I'm just going to brief you at this point of time, but I'll cover everything much in detail when I'm going to discuss through my lecture videos. Policy of the company concerning motivation, how employees are expected to behave, customer orientation, etc. We are going to cover it in detail in different parts of our lecture series. Now, experiential learning, describe the department you worked in, then job description, experience gained, what did you learn, how this experience will help you in future, your thoughts, view, comments in general about the company, and your suggestions for improvement in different areas. This would be the framework for your experiential learning, which you have come out after completing your research internship. Then part B includes introduction, and in introduction there are subparts, and in subparts you can cover it through what is the project. Means you have to define the project identity as well as how you have identified your problem and how you are going to go ahead with the data analysis. Means entire description of the project is going to be handled here. Then outline of the project, then objective, scope of the project, silent contributions. I'm going to define everything much in detail while I'm building those sections. So So I'll cover it everything in detail, then literature overview. After that, in research methodology, this is going to be the most important part of your entire lecture series. Research methodology, types of research, data type, sampling unit, sample size, sampling method, then data collection tool, data analysis. Fourth part is data analysis and results and interpretation. So in that, we are going to do data presentation, data analysis, result, interpretation of the result. So entire data analysis is going to be handled under this. In the previous part, we are going to handle different research techniques, research methodology, and here we are going to entire data analysis and different ways to doing it. Then finally, final conclusion from the work and limitations of the studies. Then in recommendations, guideline and procedures for implementation, expected outcomes from the recommendations, the scope of future work, then appendix, and bibliography. And finally, compilation of the entire report. What can be the guideline to prepare a particular report, like font size, spacing, and everything is going to be covered under this.